Good morning, I'm Neva Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Friday, 28th of February. In this update, the Prime Minister's shifting his focus from politics to business during the final leg of his trip to Vietnam. But before he left Hanoi last night, Christopher Luxon couldn't resist an opportunity to strike the ceremonial drum at the Temple of Literature. Political editor Jason Walls was there.
3, 2, 1...
And just like that, Luxon was off to Ho Chi Minh City. Today's focus is business, the Prime Minister aiming to drum up as much support as possible for the Kiwi businesses operating in the Vietnamese market. And he's hoping his new partnership agreement with the Vietnamese government will allow even more Kiwi businesses in.
A plea to end futile CPR in aged residential care facilities. Otago University researchers believe staff should not have to be forced to provide compressions to pulseless residents. They argue facilities should be able to adopt no-chest compression policies so residents can have staff providing comfort in their final moments. Researcher Janine Winters says CPR isn't always helpful for the elderly.
But it is very likely that doing that will break their ribs and be a traumatic way to die. Traumatic for the person, traumatic for the staff.
The deadline for alternative Cook Strait Ferry private sector proposals expires at 6 o'clock tonight. Rail Minister Winston Peters is searching for a better option for the ageing inter-islander fleet. Celebrations as Auckland Council votes to commit $15 million to the restoration of a historic Central City concert venue. The 97-year-old St James Theatre on Queen Street has sat in a state of disrepair since 2007 after a fire forced it to close. The council committed the restoration funding yesterday, matching the government's contribution. Theatre owner Steve Bealby is thrilled with the result.
It signifies the rebuild of this key piece of cultural infrastructure. That's what it is to us. The theatre's a piece of cultural infrastructure, just like water pipes and sports fields. This is a great time for Midtown Auckland.
An investigation's underway into the death of Hollywood star Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa. The pair had been found dead with their dog in their New Mexico home. He was 95, she was 63. Foul play is not suspected in relation to the couple's deaths, although the exact cause hasn't been determined. The BBC's Matthew Amroliwala says Francis Ford Coppola, who directed Hackman in The Conversation, paid tribute via this statement.
Gene Hackman, a great actor, inspiring and magnificent in his work and complexity. I mourn his loss and celebrate his existence and contribution.
In sport, Australian Harrison Crowe tops the New Zealand Golf Open leaderboard at Millbrook Resort via a 9-under par opening round of 62. Lydia Ko was 3 back from the lead after a 1-under 71 to open at the Women's Golf World Championship in Singapore. 3 of Ireland's most capped players, Peter O'Mahony, Cian Healy and Conor Murray, will retire from international rugby at the end of the Six Nations. And the Champions Trophy cricket clash between Pakistan and Bangladesh and Rawalpindi has been washed out. I'm Neva Manu. That's your latest news fix, and we'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.